What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy Halucha Lucha, aka Matthew J. Brownlee, and I'm back with another NXT review, not a review, in your house thing. Yeah, one day I'll get it. Just not today. Um, Drink some water, mouth is parched. Before I get into this, of course, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff. And you already know what we doing. We be talking about NXT uh, in a way that we don't really review. We just go through, see what like happened during the show, and see like the pieces that they're doing, and see what we liked, what we didn't like, and all of the good stuff. I kind of can't describe what I do, but you understand what I be doing, what I do, what I do. I pretty much talk about all the divisions. Like I talk about the women's division, how good that was or how good it wasn't. I talk about the main division, the tag division, and all the other mini divisions that be going on wrong at the same time. That's pretty much what I be doing. I don't know what to call it yet, but that's my overview of the show. That's what I be doing. So, without further ado, I'm going to get into this review. That's not really a review, but I just wanted to rhyme with this what I do. Okay. So this show was, in my opinion, I thought it was really really good, like superbly good, better than some of the other shows that they've been doing. Like NXT is always good, like they always have good matches, but I think a lot of the times with NXT they just do stuff and they have once in a blue moon they have like they'll have like storylines or whatever like that. But like once in a blue moon, they'll just have matches. They'll be good matches, but there's nothing really going on. Um, NXT Takeover War Games is like next week or the week after, like 2 weeks or something like that. So they're preparing for their big show, which I think is like a couple of days after a couple of days before, a couple of days after AEW's big show thing. So yeah, so we're gonna get into, I guess, part one. I guess Kevin Owens was there, fantastic. I love Kevin Owens. I think he's great. Him on commentary was hilarious. Um, and I guess while I'm on the subject of him, um, he hosted the KO show, which also I thought was fantastic. It was surrounding the North American Championship, and I think this did a couple of things. One, it it established, or it tried to establish, I think it did a pretty good establish Leon Ruff as like a champion who isn't really a joke. Because Kevin Owens like mentioned, he was like, hey, you know you're North American champion. You did great. You're the champion of NXT. um, you should be more like, I'm glad you're excited, but tell us about yourself. And Leon Ruff was pretty much talking about how he got signed like maybe 7 weeks ago. I think he got signed, and he said that people doubted him, people thought he was a joke or whatever like that, and now he stands champion, whatever like that. And I was like, yeah, that's good and everything, but you gotta, say it with, say it like you mean it, say it with your chest, all this humble stuff and you being a good guy and respect and all that stuff is good, but like all that timid voice that you're doing is like people are gonna see that in the back, they're gonna take that for granted. You're the North American champion, you gotta let them know. And then he gets all animated and stuff like that. And then he mentions Johnny Gargano's name, and Kevin Owens was like, and Leo Rush was like, "Well, what happened?" It was like, "Oh, is it the chair? I'm sorry about the chair." He's like, "No, it's not the chair. It's like you say people's names on my show, and like I know how it goes. He's gonna come out when I do it. It's like in 3, 2, 1. He comes out. And look, it was like, and then it came down. He's like, "Up, see, there you go. See, I was a little off, but told you he's gonna be there." And then Johnny Gargano comes out, and he's talking about, "Oh, you say you beat me, all that sort of stuff." Meanwhile, Kevin Owens is getting a chair, or brings a chair, and he was like, "Hey, before you continue, do you want to sit in a chair?" He was like, "Thanks for the offer." "No, I don't want to sit in the stupid chair." He throws the chair out. He starts talking to him again, and he brings another chair. He was like, "What are you doing?" I just said I didn't want a chair. He's like, "This is not for you." He was like, "Well, who's it for?" He's like, "You'll see later. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." And so he sits down. He keeps jabbing it at Leon Ruff, and then he mentioned Damian Priest's name. He was like, "Oh." He was like, "What?" It was like, "I literally just told you what happens when you say somebody's name on my show. Now they're gonna come out. Look, in three, two, one." And everybody looks. Is like, "What? Three, two, one." And everybody looks. Nothing happens. Johnny Gargano's happy. He was like, "Oh, well, maybe it doesn't happen." Then Damian Priest news. He's up. See, there it goes. It's like it takes a little while now. And he comes out. Of course, again, offers him the chairs. Like I appreciate it, but no. You know, it's just like, what was the point of me bringing these stupid chairs anyway? He sits down. They all jab at each other. He jabs at Johnny Gargano for Leon Ruff being better on him because he beat him twice. He reminds tough guy Ruff over here that he said that he was gonna take on all the comers and stuff like that. And then Kevin Owens again, as hilarious as he is, he was like, "Man, it's like, you know, I know that there's like no Teddy Long's not here or anything like that, but we all love Teddy Long. But Teddy Long likes to just make matches. Like it's as long as if somebody was here, like a Teddy Long authority figure that would I don't know, make these type of matches at like a time, anything, everybody just starts going, everybody looks up front and nothing happens, and Kevin Owens is like, "Oh, I guess not there." And then William Regal's music, it was like, "Oh, there we go." That's hilarious. And then William Regal announces the triple threat match at Takeover. He's about to walk away. He turns around and goes, "Player," and he just walks out. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Having Kevin Owens there, it was so fun. I enjoyed it so much. That segment was hilarious. Kevin Owens on commentary throughout the show was hilarious. I love this little bit what he did with Kyle O'Reilly and Pete Dunne, where they did he there was on the ladder was there like set up on like the barricade and the apron, and it sat there, and Pete Dunne and Kyle O'Reilly is on the apron. He was like, "Oh, I can tell this is not even about to go right," and then he suplexes him on the ladder. He's like, "See, told you." He was like, "Man," he's like, "I must be psychic today." That was all fantastic. I loved everything about that. I'll get into that a little bit more. A little bit of the lower card stuff. I love what they're doing with Bo and Xia Li. That's really good. That's interesting that they're getting into something. There's somebody who's supposed to be this mystery lady who they're supposed to do. I don't know who it is. My my brain keeps saying Mako Saramura, even though I know that she's on. They announced her for NXT UK, but like she's like the only person, maybe besides Io Shirai, maybe besides like um, Kairi Sane that I can see being in there. But again, Kairi Sane doing Japan stuff. Mako is probably doing NXT UK stuff. So if it's not them two, I don't know who's gonna be this like mystery power lady. But I like where that's going. I enjoyed all that. That's good stuff. Women killed it tonight. Um, other other stuff. Cameron Grimes versus Jake Atlas. What they did was fine. I just wished it was a little longer. Jake Atlas was doing his stuff with Phantasma, Legado de Phantasma with Escobar, who he also was on comment. He had this little video package with Legado, um, with Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wild. And they was pretty much talking about how much that when they become a force and they dominated everybody. Swerve, um, Jake Atlas, and somebody else. He was like, "Oh, who's next?" And it's the guy from 205 Live who I saw. He's fantastic. He's great. He said he's another one in this book that he's going to destroy. But yeah, I thought the match was short. It was way too short. It was like 2 minutes maybe. I wish they had Jake Atlas get a lot more offense. It was like a more competitive back and forth because what they could have did would could have been like fantastic, but they just only showed a little bit of what they can do, which was still good. But I just wish it was like a little longer. But I like that. I like the thing with Dexter Lumis. He comes in there and he doesn't talk, which is great. You don't need Dexter Lumis to talk. He lets his drawings and stuff that he his drawing, his creativity that he does speak for him. He goes to the points at the Tron Dex. Cameron Grimes to the moon is looking, and he does this animation stuff of all the times that Cameron Grimes is running away and stuff like that. So he has a strap to say no more running away, and he was like, "You want some of me? You want some of Cameron Grimes? No." And then he leaves, and then William Regal's like, "Yeah, take over, strap match you too." So that was good. That part was good stuff. Also good stuff. Kushida versus Timothy Thatcher. Fantastic. It was like technical. If you like technical style wrestling and if you like brawler style wrestling, that was the match for you. They were technically sound. They were physical. Tommaso Ciampa was out there. He was just sitting down, minding his own business. One thing I did not like about this was the whole time Tommaso Ciampa just sat in his chair. He didn't do anything. They had their fantastic classic match, and then for whatever reason, Timothy Thatcher, first of all, nose is all busted wide open and stuff like that. Timothy Thatcher has like the upper hand for like zero point 0.2 seconds, and then Tommaso Ciampa like makes a whole bunch of noise, like gets out of his chair, makes a whole bunch of noise. He just sits up and sits there, distracts Timothy Thatcher, hover lock board. Kushida taps him out, and then so he taps out. So it's again Kushida technically really didn't get a clean win, which I guess again they do the thing where they like to save people. They like to make sure that everybody's strong. But I think that they could have just had Kushida win clean. But it was in the thing where commentary said that Timothy Thatcher said he didn't have a problem with Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa said, "Now it looks like he has a problem. He has a reason to have a problem with me." So I guess that's why he did it. But I just didn't need to do it because the match was fine, and even with that little distraction, he could have just won anyway. And then he could have just attacked him afterwards and be like, "Hey, now you have a problem with me," or whatever like that. But whatever, it is what it is. Still a fantastic match. I enjoyed all of it. It was good stuff. Um, was there anything? Oh, Grizzled Young Veterans, fantastic. They're back. I love them. They're great. The one good thing about NXT UK being run under um, Triple H is he could pretty much take anybody he wants and put them wherever he wants. Literally, he can do that. Um, I think, of course, for what happened with NXT UK with A Kid and my boy Trent Severin, I don't know what they're going to do with Big Strong Boy. I don't know if he's ready to wrestle, if he's still quarantining, or whatever he's doing. But the tag team division is being balanced out now. Because the tag team, as I always say in NXT UK, their tag team division is stacked. They have Imperium because I guess Imperium's go back to UK. So they have Imperium. They have the champs, Gallus. They have the Hunt. They have Mark Andrew Webb and Flash Morgan Webster. Pretty Deadly. They have Ashton and the guy who looks like Kofi Kingston. And they have another tag team. They have one more tag team. I don't know. Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams, and that wasn't even a team I was thinking. So that's 8 right there, and I didn't even mention Mustache Mountain or Grizzly Young Veterans. So I guess the 8 that they have there, they can use. There's still one more tag team that I'm forgetting. There's one more tag team. I don't remember them, but who else? There's literally one more tag team. I can't think of it. But anyways, there's those are those 8 that they have right there. And with NXT now, you can have Britain Brawler, you can have Mustache Mountain if they decide to use Mustache Mountain. Grizzled Young Veterans. You have Ever Rise. You have Undisputed Era for now. You have Breezango for now. So the NXT division, like NXT Prime, their division is coming together uh, strong like they were, like they were before. So I love it. I enjoy it. Uh, so right now they have 5, but hopefully, if which we'll call it comes back, Mustache Mountain, they'll have 6. So they're slowly but steadily getting more. And if, of course, like because Triple H owns or he's controlling 205 Live too, he can get the Singh brothers in there. He can get um, Tony Nese and oh, and they have Legado de Fantasma. They have Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wild. They got them, so they're balancing out the tag division, so it's going great. So love Grizzled Young, but oh, they're so great. They're fantastic. Love them. So yeah, so the next two things are pretty much just the two War Games matches, the men's and the women's. The women's had a great night, as I said before. Candice versus Ember Moon, good match. I'm not going to say fantastic match, but it was a good match. I think the um, them fighting, I think wrestling for the first time. I don't know if it's the first time, but the feeling processed out. They would just give it in just a little bit, just 10% of what they can do, which is still great. But of course, we're building up Survivor Series. Candice LeRae had Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. They came out and that was good stuff. They tried to cost her. She hit an eclipse on Indy Hartwell, and then Candice popped her. Boom, foot and face, pixie something. She entered the win. Tony Storm turns heel because I've been saying that forever. I was like, Tony Storm's going to turn heel. She'll be better as a heel. Too many baby faces for her. She's like number 5 baby face. Turn her heel, and boom, turned her heel. Big brain plays. Um, that was good stuff. And then they beat up Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai. So my mind, just a thought, just guessing, just throwing it out there. Candice LeRae versus Tony Storm versus Raquel Gonzalez versus Dakota Kai, who they mentioned already, versus Chauncey Blackheart, Ember Moon, Io Shirai, and Rhea Ripley 4-on-4. There you go. That's just my guess. And I thought this was going to be the end for Rhea Ripley. I thought she was going to the main roster, but apparently not yet. So, I mean, she already lost clean to Io. So either they're going to win, and then they're going to have a thing between Rhea, uh, Shanshi, and Ember fighting for number one contender for Io, or they're going to lose, and then they're going to have either Tony Storm or Candice LeRae get that shot again, and then maybe Rhea Ripley and Ember Moon's going to feud, which would be great. I would love to see that. Rhea Ripley versus Ember Moon. Yes, please give me all of that. I'll take all of that. That was good stuff. And then we also found out that there was, as I also knew, there was a second Scream Mask person because there was a big muscular person at Takeover to help Johnny Gargano win the North American Championship, and then there was a small, tiny person to help Candice, win the Women's Championship, even though she lost. So I'm assuming it's Austin Theory who's in that mask. So if he never wins the championship again, there's another tag team that you can do because he was bigging up Austin Theory. So that's also a great stuff. I love it. So that was all good stuff. Um, Rhea's still going to be in NXT for a little longer. I don't know if it's going to be after War Games or maybe she might just debut at Royal Rumble. She could just probably debut at the Royal Rumble, have her takeover match, lose to Ember Moon or Chauncey Blackheart, Candice LeRae, Tony Storm, whoever it is. She has her final goodbye at Royal Rumble, and then her versus Ember Moon at Royal Rumble or at Takeover. Yeah, and then Rhea loses, and then she shows up at uh Royal Rumble, entry Royal Rumble, and then that's when she makes her that's probably when she makes her debut at Royal Rumble. Um, and then finally the they also did a video package for her. But anyways, men's war games, of course, undisputed era. They're at all the war games because they are war games people. They have been talking about how they have one-on-one match, and winner goes to gets the advantage, and they say we always win the advantage. We never lost advantage ever, and we're not going to do it tonight, which means they're going to lose their advantage tonight, and they did. It was Pete Dunne who chose, and then Kyle O'Reilly was like, "I got to be the one." After what happened at Takeover, what I did to Finn Balor, broke his jaw, plates three different places. He said, I has to do it," and everybody said yes. Pissed off Kyle O'Reilly, we likes it. And then later, Pete Dunne was like, "Yeah, I saw the match. I saw what he did. It's impressive. But if it was me, took him out for 2 months, impressive. But it was me, I took him out for 2 years." And they said that What's-My-Face isn't there. And then they have match. My favorite part is when they're both in the cage, Undisputed Era and Britain Brawler, 1-2 punch, uh, whoever they are. They're in the cage, and Kyle O'Reilly, the music was going. Kyle O'Reilly was going down the entrance, and not only Lurkin, but the other one, Danny Burch was going. He was doing the guitar thing with the title that Kyle O'Reilly does. He was just doing that with the title. That was hilarious. That was great. Um, and then of course Finn Balor, he said something about the mice is back, and I'm your mice, I'm the cat. Checkers with chess stuff. Pretty much was just saying whoever wins the overall thing, come for me. Pete Dunne versus Finn Balor is going to be great. Yes, please. Pete Dunne, champion. But anyways, this match was fantastic. Even before the match, Kyle O'Reilly was beating up uh, him without Pete Dunne before he even got all the jackets out. Very creative, very physical. Always likes to see ladder matches because I always like to see different ways that you can use the ladders, because ladders has been since, of course, Bret Hart's time, since he invented it back in the 1970s or whatever he did, or whenever he did it. But ever since then, there's always ways to use ladders, and the way they used it, of course, very creative. They used it to beat each other with the ladder. They had each other, and it was shouldering each other with the ladders, leg screw ladders, power bombs, throwing people off of them, breaking ladders through suplexes. They was using like the ladder to like bend each other's arms and legs. So they were doing a whole bunch of fantastic stuff. They were doing a whole bunch of fantastic stuff. Uh, Pete Dunne did a weird bitter end, but I think he tried to do the bitter end over over the barricade, but he kind of landed on the barricade, and then he landed on him, and then he like pushed him off. So that was hilarious. Um, yeah, this match was just fantastic. It was brutal. Um, Kyle O'Reilly like power bombed him off the ladder, on the side of the ladder, and he like bounced off, and then he was about to climb it, and then Pat McAfee. I mean, some masked man that definitely was not Pat McAfee. Um, Pushed him off the ladder, and then Pete Dunne climbed up top and he wins. So that means he gets advantage, which probably means, oh, Undisputed might win. Undisputed always loses. Well, they won the first one. Well, when I say Undisputed always loses, I mean Roderick Strong always loses. Roderick Strong is like 0-4 in these things. So, uh, that would be interesting, to say the least. I would assume that Undisputed Era would win, but then Pat McAfee already lost once. Will he lose it? Yeah, Yeah, Undisputed wins. Because I would say Undisputed would win, that would give maybe Kyle O'Reilly and not Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong face off against One Two Punch for tag team championships sometime down the line. You might have a fatal four way between Finn Balor, Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, and Pete Dunne for the NXT championship. I don't know how many runs Rhea Ripley or Tommaso Ciampa or uh, Undisputed Era have left. Like, really, I guess this all depends on what happens after Takeover because they've all literally done everything. Only thing they literally haven't done is what they're doing now, and that's running NXT as baby faces. That's pretty much only thing they haven't done. But I mean, three-time NXT Tag Team Champions, uh, Kyle, not Kyle O'Reilly. Adam Cole holds all the championships. North American champion, first ever North American champion, tag team champion, longest reigning NXT champion. Roderick Strong was tag team champion and North American champion. Bobby Fish 3 time or Kyle O'Reilly 3 time tag team champion with Bobby Fish who won it maybe once or twice. With they've dominated. They faced everybody. They've literally done everything they can possibly do in NXT. So if they lose, maybe they'll go to the main roster. Yeah. Oh, they can lose because if they lose, they can just go to the main roster, and then because they don't. It's gonna be interesting because also you got to also think that Rich Holland, Tom Holland is Spider Man. Rich Holland is gonna eventually come back. Um, my boy Karrion Cross will eventually come back. So Finn Balor will have Pete Dunne, Karrion Cross, maybe Rich Holland, to fend for. I think Pete Dunne is the next person to face Finn Balor. He's already beaten everybody for Undisputed Era. I think Pete Dunne is the next person. You have Pete Dunne versus Finn Balor. Pete Dunne wins. They kind of sort of a little bit run NXT a little bit, and then Rich Holland comes back. Rich Holland attacks Pete Dunne, and then those original three or four who come out, they beat up. They form the group that was supposed to do, and then you get babyface Pete Dunne back with Mustache Mountain, and you get the uh, the British Strong Style versus the Kings of Wrestling, and then you do that thing, and then you have those together. That'd be good stuff. That's my opinion. That's what I think will happen. That's what I think should happen. That's what will happen. But yeah, Undisputed Era. I love them so much, and I think they'll be. I think they will flourish very well on the main roster. I think those are people that when they're on the main roster, you can't ignore them because of how much the crowd will love them. The crowd will probably burn WWE to the ground if they mess them up. So I think they'll be. I think they'll. Are they gonna lose? They've lost. Besides the first one, they've lost all of them. They're the undisputed era because they can lose them all. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see. But that was the show. I thought the show was like a good A. I think everything was really good. The Kushida Thatcher match was fantastic. The Kevin Owens show, Kevin Owens in general was fantastic tonight. The main event was good. Grizzled Young Veterans are back. Tony Storm turns heel. Uh, Literally everything on this card was fantastic. So I give the show about an A minus. I think is what the show deserves. What did you guys think of the show? Let me know in the comments below. I'm out.